you can be serious.
I can't do it. Yeah, no, I know I can't do it. Good morning, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Today we have a
Evening.
business class. I am about to sleep here, but let's go. Um, let's see here. We have relationship building questions again. It's the third class in a row that we talk about this. I'm starting to think that it was a good thing, but at the same time, it's not a good one. But let's see. Starting with Mr. Bruno, the one that participated in the last Friday class. So, Mr., what are some benefits of having healthy relationships in your personal and professional life? It's not just about your loving life, it's about your academic life, your professional life, okay? All the things that um, include a relationship, doesn't matter the type of relationship it is.
Wow. It's not a easy question to answer, but we're trying.
Good.
when
Relationships are not always easy, you know?
yes, i'm I will talk about my relationships in my job. I'm a teacher, and I need to have good relationships with my partners, other teachers, my bosses, and my students. And I need to create a strong base in these relationships, especially with my students, because I know that in this relationship, healthy relationships, my students can learn better. And that I understand that as a benefit of healthy relationship. They can learn better, and I will I will be considered a good teacher, and my career, it can be increased with this fact, when my students are learning better, based in our healthy relationships. For example, something like that.
It's a good point. It's a good point. You really can grow in this kind of profession when you have a good relationship with your coworkers, of course, and with your, let's say, clients. Yes.
Yes, yes,
It's not, it's like they are students, of course, but they chose to be there, probably. Yes, it's probably
yes,
they chose to be there. If you were a college teacher, so yes, they chose to be there. Uh, Maybe 5% not, because it's like, my parents asked me to do this and I want to do something. So, but it's very less common to have people that are not willing to learn in your situation. Then in mine, for example, in my situation, is not everybody that studies English that wants to study English. Some of are studying because they need to study. Some of them are obligated by their parents. There are a lot of situations. Okay.
okay,
But just to add a little of my experience with your what you said here. You said that you have to be friend with your students and your coworkers. Okay. I had a boss that he said once to all of us during training that we are not supposed to be friends with our students. I don't agree with this kind of point of view, but he said that because when you are a friend with your students, you think you have liberty to do whatever you want, to like say whatever you want, and that's kind of are going to give you some windows for you to have problems. For example, your student's not going to think about your career if he wants to complain about some joke you made or something like that, you know?
Oh, I understand. I had
Agree.
bosses,
Mm,
had bosses that who saying something like that, that they it was uh, uh, a woman in
mhm.
direction she's director of school.
Okay.
she she used to say she used to say that sentence: student doesn't like student students don't like teacher. Students need the teacher, need a teacher. Then
Mm-hmm.
when you teacher think when you teacher think that the students like you, don't, how can I say iludir, please?
Um,
Illusion.
don't you have
What?
this delusion? Yes.
Illusion?
Illusion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where she used to say, you teacher, don't be in illusion thinking the students like you. The students you, need your benefits.
Mm-hmm.
when 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 they don't need you any longer, they will not like you like before.
Mm-hmm. You can
But
see that.
I disagreed. I used to disagree with her, because in my experience I have these friends that was I have friendships that started with a relationship between a teacher, me, and a student. I and it is the relationship healthy and so good for both involved.
That's great. That's very nice. Because there are a lot of exceptions, of course. No rules are
Yes.
100% true, you know? For the same reason that you can be a friend if you're a student, because there are benefits, because probably if they like you, they are going to make more efforts to learn, is one point. And at the same time, as when you're not a friend of him, it's all professional, and probably they are not going to be uh trying to get advantages. For example, you are my friend, you understand my life is tough, so you have to accept the things I don't do because you asked, you know. And I said, oh, wait, there is obligations and there is friendships. Okay, some things are different. Okay, so and as what's your opinion about this?
About health. What are some benefits of having healthy relationships? I think the benefits are to build a strong relationship, obviously, but you are be able maybe to keep this relationship for a long period of time, and you can help each other along your way along the career as well. If you are working with many people that you are able to keep a good relationship, you guys maybe can grow together or
Mm-hmm.
to get good things inside that company or at school, whatever. And don't matter the environment, okay? All the environments, it is important to keep good relationships at home, at school, at work,
Mm-hmm.
whenever you go.
It's a good point. Let me see the opinion of Mr. Edson. Do you have a microphone today, Edson?
Não tenho.
No, no microphone
Uh-uh.
today.
Não.
All right then. Okay, no problem. Let me see here. Oh, you sent some messages on the chat. Let me see. Pururu.
It's not illusion. Deluded.
Deluded, yes.
Deluded,
Deluded,
yes.
yes.
I
Deluded,
got
Thanks,
yes.
wrong.
Aeneas.
Oh,
Thanks
sorry,
for
I
the
got wrong. I got wrong.
thank-
No problem. It's okay. I already got confused because delusion is the situation, you know.
Yeah.
Delusion is the situation. When
Illusion is
you,
another context.
yes, it is. Let's see here. Fernando then. Fernando, about your colleagues at school, because you were a teenager, right? So how do you think these kind of relationships are good or not for you? And during your family. Jesus.
Can you
Sorry.
be more specific?
Like, I think you don't work. I think you're only studying, right?
Right.
So the relationships that you have examples are your family and your colleagues at school and your teachers and stuff. What do you think about this? And what are some benefits of having healthy relationships with these people?
Pessoal, não sei responder essa pergunta.
Don't know how to answer it. So let's change a little bit. Imagine you have a lot of people you know in your school, and what are the benefits of being friends with these people? With people from school time, you know?
Alguns benefícios é tipo, eu não vou ficar sempre sozinho na escola, que é uma coisa bem chata.
Try to express this in English, please.
Right. I'll never be alone because this is a really boring thing and annoying. If I need help with some homeworks, I can always count on them. And it's cool to have people around me, so I don't have to be alone.
It's a good point. It's a good point. And for you, Jordan, what do you think about this? What are some benefits of having healthy relationships?
Ô, professor, hoje eu tô só ouvindo mesmo, viu? Deus te abençoe, amém?
All right, you and Edson
Bye.
don't have a microphone, okay?
Tchau.
It's a code now. Now we have no microphone for some students, okay? They have microphones, they can talk, but they choose not to. Not going to force you, okay? Don't worry. Luis, your turn. Can you give us your opinion about this? I will just ask the people that are not talking right now just to mute the microphone because we have some noises. Okay. Ooh, thank you. So, Luis, do you have a microphone so you can give us your opinion about it? Oh God, that's bad. Okay, and you, Daniel, what is your opinion about this first question there? Daniel, are you there? Okay, so I think he doesn't have to. So let's go to the next question here. How do you cope with stress and challenges in your relationships? What is cope? Cope is for you to deal with, okay? How do you deal with stress and challenges in your relationships? Let me start with Mr. Enes in this situation. Your microphone is not turned on.
Here, okay. How do you cope with stress and challenges in your relationship side? I think the best way to deal with that is to keep a good communication between both people, because it's important to be aware, to know what is the real problem that is happening, and to try to solve that with a good conversation is the better way to solve everything. To be a good communicator and to how to and as well to know how to listen carefully what the other person is trying to talk to you. So both needs to be understanding people to try to get an agreement when they have any problem.
That's a good point. And if it doesn't work well, how do you deal with it?
So the second step would be to divorce.
What
Never more
about
talk to each other.
how do you
If
divorce the people from your work?
To quit the job, maybe. To
Is
disappear.
this a
Oh no.
divorce?
No, that is no. I think that if it's not possible to solve correctly, talking to the person, I think that's better to communicate to your boss. Okay. In this case, the second step would be I would do
What
that.
if the problem is your boss?
Oh God, man. So I think that you are in the wrong way, in the wrong place. You need to quit the job to change your job. There is no
But you need money to
exit.
survive.
It's a kind of divorce.
Yeah,
Né?
exactly.
Look,
When
it's
you
not
change
you,
the
it's
job,
me.
it's a kind
You
of
know,
divorce.
No, I
it's
think
not you, it's me. The problem is not you, it's me.
generally both people, if both people are mature enough, I think they are going to find a better way to solve the problem. Okay, it's not possible to don't get to solve this problem. Always there is a way, you know. Always there is it is possible to solve everything if you want. Okay, to have a good conversation is the better way.
Right. That's a good point. That's a good point. I was trying to make you go through a difficult situation
Oh God.
to get like, how can I solve this? Oh my God, I don't know how to answer this. But you were good. You were good. Very
Okay.
nice. Very nice. Good work. Do you agree with him, or what is your opinion about this, Bruno?
I agree with Aeneas.
But
I
it's not like
understand.
I agree with him and stop talking. Okay, I need you to express yourself.
I understand the challenge in relationships as I stairs to make the people involved to the next level,
Okay,
about the next level
like a
in the
Pokemon, yes.
in our jobs, in our loves, in our friendships,
Mhm.
and in our communities. When there is a challenge, the challenge is the chance to make the relationship go on to another level. And
Improve.
it is important. It's important because if because on contrary, this relationship is makes a mood stagnado. I don't know how to say. Sorry.
Stagnated. Usually
What?
it is stagnated.
Stagnated. Yes,
Stuck. Can be
it
stuck.
can it became a stagnated relationship, and it's not healthy. It's not good. And when this level comes, it's necessary to face the challenge, to face the stress, to make this relationship go on to another level. But it's not easy. A way to make it happen, it's like Aeneas said,
Mm.
with a good communication. It's not easy, but it's the first option to discuss. when when you see discuss about what you can see, what you see, the wrong things, the wrong behaviors that need to change, that needs to change to take the relationship to another level, to the jobs flowing better, to the friendships flowing better, to love flowing better. flowing better. But when the good communication to explain what is going wrong in this relationship, if it don't work, if it doesn't work, sorry, if it
No
doesn't
problem.
work,
It's okay.
when all of this doesn't work, it's time to divorce, as Anaya said.
Okay,
When-
so the second
it's the second option.
second
The
option
second
is
option.
divorce.
Yes, because, for example, I don't agree with some behaviors in my company, and I seek for a solution with my boss. For example, if my boss don't understand what is the mistake, and keep going, keep doing that wrong thing, make my job doesn't work. For example, I understand that my place is not there. I understand that I need to change my job. When I talk to my friend about things in his behavior that bore me, I wait that he can change his behavior. But when it won't happen, when it doesn't happen, I finish this relationship, because there's no benefits in this relationship anymore. What can I why can I go on in this work, in this friendship, in this wedding, for example? But there's a point. Before I looking for a solution about the other, I need to see about myself if there is a wrong thing starting at myself, starting with me. But it's easy to see the mistakes in the other, but I need to see mistakes in myself, because the mistake in the other person can be start because a mistake in myself. Then I need to fix the things at first. After I see the mistakes in the other person, because when in the dialogue, in the conference, I don't know if
War.
in the war, yes, thank you. When in the war, in the battle, the other person can challenge me with my mistakes too. Then I need to see my mistakes at first. Then I can face the mistakes of the other. Logical, of course. Must be, all these things must be done in peace, with dialogue, with good communication, as Anaya said.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. I couldn't explain better. Thank you very much for this. And I had one more question about it to ask you about, but I thought you started talking about something else, then I forgot, because attention here is not one of my good strengths. Okay, so let's move on to the next one here. That is what are some common mistakes or pitfalls that can harm relationships? What are some mistakes and attitudes? Oh no, sorry, I forgot about Fernando. Fernando, how do you deal with stress in this kind of situations?
How do I deal with stress?
Yes, how do you cope with stress and challenges in your relationships when you have a fight with a friend or you have a disagreement with your parents or your relatives, you know?
Mm, for personal reasons, I can't stress too much. So I do that thing I already told. Uh, I take a deep breath and I try
Mhm.
not to yell at them because it would make the situation uh, a lot worse than it
Mhm.
already is, you know.
Sure.
And I try to be calm. And if the people is like yelling at me and saying dumb things, I only say, okay, right. I don't care.
Oh God, this is cruel. This
No,
is
tanto,
this is going to make the person even more angry, like angrier than he was already.
this is the best part.
Oh God, we can see that you were a friend of the chaos, you know.
Eu gosto de você pegar fogo.
I can see that.
Claro, né, que eu sou uma pessoa, não sou de ferro. Às vezes eu posso acabar, né, cometendo erros, mas na maioria das vezes eu tento fazer isso que é para não perder a razão.
All right, so good. This is it's a good strategy if you are in the right situation, okay? There are going to be situations that this is not going to work, so be aware of that, okay?
All right.
Let me see here. Let's go to the next question then. What are some common mistakes? As you said, Bruno, there are mistakes that we can have in each other. There are mistakes that people are having, and you have to notice first your mistakes for after, yes, knowing the others, pointing the other mistakes. Think about your answer. We are going to start with Enes in this question. So, what are some common mistakes or attitudes that can harm relationships in us?
I think that the main mistake is to lie, you know?
I think so. I think
Yeah,
the same thing.
because all the relationships needed to be building over a good how can I say
Trust.
trust, right? Yeah, you need to be trustful person. Between both need to be trustful, and so if you are starting lying to another one for any reasons, you are going to start destroying maybe that relationship. So that's the first thing. There are
Mhm.
many things that can destroy a relationship, that can finish a relationship, but to me, not be honest is the first one.
I
I can see
agree
that.
with Aeneas. Sorry, teacher.
No
It's not my
problem.
turn at once.
I was going to say that Cynthia raised her hand. So Cynthia, would you give your opinion about this? Cynthia? Okay.
Hi, good evening.
Good.
The third question, yes. But I have adopted the word pitfalls. Pitfalls is a point? Oh no.
Pitfalls are like bad attitudes. I think it's like more like this, you know, like bad happenings and stuff like that.
I think
It's
for example, screams, um, uh, into the discussion
Mm-hmm.
discussion between couples or violence or I think so. Uh, Ignore the other parts.
Mm-hmm. Pitfalls
Yes,
are like traps, okay, to be more specific.
pitfalls, lie,
Are
lies, lies,
Mhm.
lies. For example, um, I I need to work every day, and after the work, I go out or I'm going to a bar or another place to enjoy me,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't care with my 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 boyfriend or my friend and else.
Well, think about it. Yes, like you said
Yes,
that you're going to rest, but then you
yes,
go out.
yes, and
That is this is bad.
I yeah he's very bad, and I don't care when I, for example, I just arrived in my home,
Mm-hmm.
and for example, I have a husband, but
Sure.
I don't care for him, and I don't like to see him uh, in in my home or at the in specific times, for example, the meals or and if the night, for example, the night. When
Mm-hmm.
Sunday the night, um, I don't like when he near me or close, try to touch me. So I don't like.
So often you prefer like
Yes,
you prefer to take
yes,
your time, relax, chill up by yourself.
yes. So it's the
Like
end of the relation.
that's
Okay.
good. That's good. Everybody needs their private space, and this is completely acceptable, okay? Let me see here another thing here. Uh Bruno, can you keep your with your what you were thinking about, what you were talking about, these mistakes and this kind of lying stuff? Can you conclude your opinion for us, please?
Okay, I agree with Aeneas when he said about lying. It's the main mistake that
Mm-hmm.
can harm the relationship, but it's it's it it is adequated to love and friendship. I think, but
Mm-hmm.
when I think about uh, professional relationships in the companies, for example, it's
Mm-hmm.
necessary to know about the rules, rights, and
I
obligations.
thought you were going to say is it necessary to lie.
Can you
I
repeat,
really
please?
thought you were going to say in companies and these situations it's necessary to. I was like, and then you said,
No, no, no. It's necessary to be honest in every place. It's
oh God,
not.
oh thanks
It's it.
God.
But the honesty, the honest, the true, it's a point. It's a good point for your job. It's a point of credibility.
Mm-hmm.
When I want to, but what I want to increase in this discussion is
Mm-hmm.
to know about the rules, rights, and
Uh-huh.
obligations of this relationship. rules, rights and obligations of you as employer, or of you as a boss when you are in this hierarchy. No,
Hierarchy, yes.
Hierarchy.
This kind of these different levels of power, yes.
Yes, yes. When you assume the high level, the high position in a company, you must know about the rights and your obligations with
Mhm.
with your employers. And when you are employer, you need to know the rights and obligations about your boss and about your
Mhm.
clients too. Then and uh, and it's necessary to know the rules also when you are in a relationship or in a love relationship too, because everyone has his own rules. Everyone
Mhm.
has the list of things they think about is the rights and a list of the obligations for
Mhm.
other person,
And their
other person.
limits, yes.
Yes, yes. For example, in my case, when with my friends, I I made the things clear about money, about my kids. I have two daughters, and I made the things clear about what I want to my kids, to my daughters, and
Mhm.
I put a limit about it. When then my friends must know what are these limits. Do you understand?
Yes, yes, like, oh, we want to go out. All right, but this day I can't because I have to take care of my kids. And this
Yes,
is the kind of things I can go. Are the kind of things I don't go anymore because of that.
yes.
All the
I need
limitations and
to.
stuff.
I need that my friend. I need my friend understands what is the point. What point is the limit in our friendship? There's a point
Mhm.
that there are things I can support. I can ignore, but there's points that I can do ignore.
Mhm.
I can do support, and it these things must be clear for me and for my friends too.
Good, good.
Something can happen at my wedding too, when my
Mhm.
wife puts her limits and I put my limits. Is shown, and we show for each other what are these limits.
This is good to know. This is good to be aware of, you know. Do you agree with this kind of situations, and as just to finish for today?
Yes, totally. I think that how Bruno said, it's important to set your boundaries, to colocar seus
Uh-huh.
limites in any relationships. Yes, I
This is
totally agree with
important.
him.
This is
Yeah,
good.
it's a good
Thank you,
point.
Aeneas.
My pleasure.
Guys, I think so this everything for today. I'm going to stop the recording here, but we are going to open a little time for us to discuss some extra stuff, some questions if you have some. Okay, so let me just finish the recording here, and we see each other next class. Thank you very much for participating, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.